So, I want us to pretend we are talking like old friends. Like I'm talking to you the same way I would talk to an 8-year-old I love deeply and want to protect. Please stay with me till the end because somewhere near the end, I will share something science discovered that almost nobody tells parents. And once you hear it, you won't look at your child's stomach pain the same way again. Hello, I'm Simi, your health accountability buddy. The friend who checks in not to scare you, but because I care so much to stay quiet. Let me start with a story. There was a little boy, his name was Daniel. Daniel was 7. He wasn't sickly, he wasn't weak, he wasn't that child parents worry about. He ran everywhere, he laughed loudly, he loved sweet biscuits and cartoons. The kind of child you look at and say, oh, it's fine. One night, Daniel woke up crying, not loud crying though, not dramatic crying, that quiet, scary kind. He was holding his tummy, curled up and sweating. His mom rubbed his back and said, it's okay. Maybe it's gas. Maybe you ate too much. By morning, Daniel was quiet. Still alive, still walking. But Daniel wasn't himself. He didn't finish his food. He didn't joke as usual. He just said, my stomach is hot. Days passed, the pain came, then went, then it came back again. Until one morning, Daniel vomited something dark. That was the moment fear entered the room. Later, the doctor said words no one expected to hear about a child. Stomach ulcer. Wow. Let me say that again, slowly this time. A stomach ulcer in a child? Here's the part that makes parents freeze when they hear it. The ulcer didn't start that day. Science shows it had been forming quietly for months. No alarms, no sirens, just whispers. And that's why I'm talking to you today about it. Because many parents believe ulcers are adult problems. Even before I actually went on this research, I actually thought so as well. What made me go on this research was a comment a nurse made when I had my last baby. She talked to me about ulcer and how it affects a lot of children. And I decided to dig deep to know more. And now I'm sharing it with you. So don't take this for a joke. Work stress problems, alcohol problems, old people problems. That's what we all think. Science gently clears it and says, this belief is not true. After watching this video, you're going to know this belief might actually not be true. Research from pediatric health studies shows children, even very young ones, can develop ulcers. Not because their parents failed, not because they did something terrible, but because of small everyday things we don't talk about enough. Let me explain what an ulcer is in the simplest way possible, in a way you would understand. Now, inside your stomach is acid, strong acid. That acid's job is to break food. To protect the stomach from burning itself, the body makes a slippery shield, like a raincoat inside your belly. An ulcer happens when the acid becomes too strong, or the shield becomes weak. Then, when this happens, the acid slowly burns a tiny hole. That hole is the ulcer. That hole is like acid touching raw skin. Quiet, painful, and very good at hiding. Now, listen carefully, because this next part is one of the biggest eye-openers science ever gave us. Scientists discovered a tiny germ called Helicobacter pylori. I hope I'm pronouncing this right, but you're going to see the spelling on the screen. You can dig further into it. It's very tiny and very stubborn. Research shows that this single gene is linked to most stomach ulcers, even in children. Now, where does this come from? It comes from unclean water, unwashed hands, shared spoons, shared cups, food touched by many hands. And here's the part most parents don't hear enough. Many children carry this germ and look completely fine. Yeah, they actually look very okay. No fever, no crying, no drama. Until one day the stomach will say, I can't take this anymore. Studies published by global health organizations show that this germ is more common where sanitation is poor or homes are crowded. You know those homes where we have different people, different family members, maybe extended family are even there. It's just crowded. Actually, that's not a blame. That's science explaining environment. Now back to Daniel. Before the scary night, there were signs. Small signs. He complained of tummy pain before school. He ate slower. He said his stomach burned sometimes. He got tired easily. But because he still played and laughed, nobody panicked. Science calls this silent progression. Children don't always scream pain. I want you to note that. Sometimes they whisper it. That's why anytime your child complains about a particular pain, it's nice you listen and you pay attention to it. If possible, take them for some tests because they usually don't scream pain, they whisper it. So you shouldn't take any of their whisper for granted. There's another thing science talks about and parents rarely connect it to ulcers, which is pain and fever medicines. Normal ones, the ones we trust. Research shows that frequent use over time can weaken the stomach's protective shield, especially when taken on an empty stomach. I guess this is why doctors keep talking about eating before taking your drugs. Yeah, these things do cause ulcer. I think I'll make a more elaborate video on this particular parts topic talking about ulcer. Now, again, I'm not blaming anyone, it's just knowledge. Now, let's talk about something uncomfortable, which is stress. Yes, stress, even in children. I know you're going to be wondering, oh, do children go through stress? Yes. Brain science shows that the stress tells the stomach to release more acid, and more acid means more burning power. Children feel stressed deeply. I know you're shocked at this. I was shocked myself. But reading through this, going deeper into this research, I actually understand what science is talking about. You see the shouting, the fear, the pressure, the bullying, the loneliness. They don't say I'm stressed. They say, Mommy, Daddy, my tummy hurts. There was a night when Daniel's pain came back worse. He fainted. Tests later showed internal bleeding from the ulcer. The doctor said something that stayed with the parents forever. He said, if you had waited longer. Yes, he didn't finish the sentence, but we all know what that means. Science explains why this is dangerous. Children have smaller bodies, they lose blood faster, damage spreads quicker in their body. That's why awareness matters, not panic, but awareness. Research shows early signs often include burning tummy pain, pain at night, poor appetite, tiredness, feeling nauseous, and dark stool or vomit. One sign alone may mean nothing actually, but patterns matters. Science loves pattern a lot. Here is something science discovered that almost nobody puts in parenting conversations, but I'm going to tell you today. The stomach heals better in a calm environment. Studies show regular meals, clean water, hand washing, enough sleep, and emotional safety help the stomach repair itself. One research paper said something beautiful. The stomach responds to care faster than force. I know there's a lot of things I'm saying right now that is shocking you. I was shocked myself when I read about this. Daniel's little sister once said something simple. She says, When daddy shouts, my tummy feels hot. That sentence changed the house. Now, less shouting and more talking. And Daniel's pain reduced. Science calls this the gut brain connection. Your stomach listens to your emotions. Here's the final truth I promised you: ulcers don't start in the stomach, they stay in daily life. I know you're shocked about this as well. You see those tiny habits, tiny stresses, tiny exposures every day. Those are the things that contribute to the ulcer. And you know the good news: conditions can be changed. Actually, Daniel healed. That's the good news. He healed slowly, carefully, and his parents say they listen differently now. So if your child ever says, my tummy is hot, my tummy burns, or my belly hurts again, please pause. Not in fear, but in curiosity. Because curiosity is where science begins. And sometimes, curiosity protects the people we love most. Once again, I'm Simi, and I'm always on your side. Stay healthy.